Did you know a medical student became one of the greatest threats to apartheid? This is the story of Steve Biko, a man whose ideas ignited a revolution and whose death shook the foundations of white supremacy in South Africa. Stephen Bantu Biko was born on December 18, 1946, in Ginsberg Township, near King Williamstown, in what is now the Eastern Cape of South Africa. His early life was marked by the realities of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination. From a young age, Biko displayed a sharp intellect and a deep sense of injustice. He excelled in school and developed a keen awareness of the inequalities that surrounded him. He attended the University of Natal Medical School in Durban, where he was confronted with the stark disparities in healthcare access based on race. It was here that he became deeply involved in anti-apartheid student politics. The late 1960s were a time of growing resistance to apartheid. But many felt that existing anti-apartheid groups were led by white liberals and failed to adequately address the psychological impact of racial oppression on black people. In 1968, Biko co-founded the South African Students' Organization, or SASO. SASO represented a radical departure from the existing student movements. It focused on the needs and aspirations of black students, promoting black leadership and self-reliance. This was the seed of the Black Consciousness movement. Black consciousness argued that before black people could achieve political liberation, they needed to overcome the psychological shackles of internalized inferiority imposed by apartheid. Biko believed that apartheid was not just a system of political and economic oppression, but also a mental and spiritual system of domination. He argued that black people had to reclaim their dignity, pride, and self-worth in order to challenge white supremacy effectively. The concept of black in Biko's politics was intentionally broad. It included Africans, coloreds, and Indians who were oppressed by apartheid. This strategic definition aimed to build unity and solidarity among all those who suffered under the system. The Black Consciousness movement gained momentum throughout the early 1970s. In 1972, the Black People's Convention, or BPC, was formed as a broader political network to promote black consciousness beyond the student population. Biko became its leading voice, traveling across the country, organizing communities, and inspiring a new generation of activists. His writings and speeches articulated the core principles of black consciousness, challenging the status quo and empowering black people to take control of their own destinies. But Biko's activism did not go unnoticed by the apartheid regime. He was constantly under surveillance, and his movements were restricted. In 1973, he was placed under banning orders, which severely limited his freedom of movement and expression. He could not speak publicly, attend gatherings, or be quoted in the media. Despite these restrictions, Biko continued to work tirelessly behind the scenes, organizing and inspiring others. His home became a hub of resistance, where activists gathered to discuss strategy and plan actions. In August of 1977, Biko was arrested and detained under the Security Act. He was held in solitary confinement and subjected to brutal interrogation by police in Port Elizabeth. On September 12, 1977, Steve Biko died in police custody in Pretoria. The official cause of death was brain injuries, but it was widely believed that he had been severely beaten and tortured by his captors. The circumstances surrounding his death were shrouded in secrecy, and the apartheid regime attempted to cover up the truth. The state initially claimed that Biko had died from a hunger strike, a claim that was later discredited. An inquest was held in 1977, but it failed to hold any police officers criminally responsible for his death. The inquest findings were widely condemned as a whitewash, and the international community expressed outrage at the apartheid regime's blatant disregard for human rights. The truth about Biko's death remained obscured for many years. It wasn't until 1997, before South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission, that several police officers admitted to their involvement in his interrogation and torture. However, not all were fully convicted, and the lack of full criminal accountability remains a controversial issue. The news of Biko's death sent shockwaves around the world. His funeral in King William's Town on September 25, 1977, became a massive political event, drawing thousands of mourners and international media attention. Biko became a symbol of resistance against apartheid, and his death galvanized the anti-apartheid movement both within South Africa and abroad. His writings, posthumously published in the book, I Write What I Like, became a source of inspiration for activists and scholars around the world. Biko's legacy extends far beyond his short life. His ideas on black consciousness continue to resonate in South Africa and across the African diaspora. He is remembered as a visionary leader who challenged the psychological foundations of racial oppression and empowered black people to reclaim their dignity and self-worth. Biko's influence can be seen in the student movements of today, such as AND, which draw on his emphasis on decolonization, equality, and racial justice. His writings have also influenced Pan-African thought, anti-racist movements, and liberation philosophy across Africa and the diaspora. Steve Biko's life and death serve as a reminder of the brutality of apartheid and the importance of fighting for freedom and equality. He remains a powerful symbol of resistance, inspiring generations to challenge injustice and strive for a more just and equitable world. His story is a testament to the power of ideas and the enduring legacy of those who dare to challenge the status quo. The apartheid regime tried to erase him, to silence his voice, but Biko's spirit lives on, a beacon of hope for a future free from oppression and discrimination. His legacy is a challenge to us all, to confront injustice wherever we find it and to stand up for the dignity and rights of all people. Steve Biko's fight continues.